Coming up on today's show, the 2017 BMW i3 gets a 114-mile EPA-approved range, 100 kilowatt-hour battery packs are on the way for Tesla Model S and Tesla Model X, and Volvo and Uber pair up to bring autonomous self-driving Ubers to Pittsburgh. These stories and more next on 10. Like all our content, today's show is only possible thanks to the kind donations of viewers like you. Head to www.patreon.com/transportevolved to find out how you can make your own donation today to keep us independent, ad-free and impartial. And if you're already donating, thanks for your continued support. It's Friday, August 19th, 2016. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield, and we're starting today's show with the news that the 2017 BMW i3 electric car, with larger 33 kilowatt-hour battery pack, has received an official certified range from the EPA of 114 miles per charge. Identical in every other way to previous model year BMW i3 electric cars, the new 2017 model comes with a choice of two different battery pack sizes. The same 22 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion pack found in previous model year i3s, as well as the larger 33 kilowatt-hour pack capable of 33 miles per charge more than the smaller capacity one. The improvement in range is certainly worth paying extra for, but it's worth noting that the higher capacity battery pack, which is slightly heavier, does impact overall efficiency and, we'd presume, in performance too, since the 22 kilowatt-hour BMW i3 uses 27 kilowatt-hours to travel 100 miles, while its larger batteried sibling uses 29 kilowatt-hours to travel the same 100 miles. That said, it's still one of the most efficient electric cars you can buy today, so we wouldn't worry about it. Detroit auto giant Ford may be a long way behind BMW and plenty of other automakers when it comes to electric cars, but this week it tried to lay claim to become a leader in autonomous vehicles by announcing a major investment in autonomous vehicle research and development, involving a doubling of its Silicon Valley tech center in size and a major investment in 4 autonomous vehicle startups, as well as a promise to bring a mass-produced self-driving car to market by 2025. You may think that sounds pretty much like the plans being aired by every other automaker out there, but Ford says the car in question, which it plans to make in the kind of volumes mainstream models it's producing today are made, will feature level 5 autonomy, meaning it will be able to drive itself completely without human interaction. So much so, in fact, that Ford says the car won't need traditional controls like a steering wheel or pedals. But while the car sounds fantastic, you won't be able to buy it when it enters production in 2025. Instead, Ford says it will make the vehicle exclusively available to car-sharing services, a move that will not only help it get its autonomous car technology in front of a wider audience, but will also ensure that its first self-driving car, likely to be pretty expensive, will be funded not by individuals but by businesses. And that in turn should make sure that Ford isn't making self-driving cars a plaything of the wealthy. We just have to wait to see if it meets its own tough goals or not. From 2025 to something a little nearer, namely the launch of a new 100 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack for the Tesla Model S and Tesla Model X electric cars. As regulars will know, it was back in early spring when we first heard a rumour suggesting Tesla was readying a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack for production thanks to some reverse engineering of Tesla's vehicle-based software by Tesla fan and tinkerer Jason Hughes. And this week, thanks to the openness of the Dutch government, we learned that the Tesla Model S P100D and Tesla Model X P100D have received official type approval for use on European roads. The type approval for both cars, essential for any new car to be sold in the EU, popped up on a Dutch government website last week, and since then, rumours have been flying around as to how long we'll have to wait before the new longer range pack hits the market. Sadly, Tesla hasn't yet made an official announcement about what we can expect the car to debut, but if we had to guess, we'd say there's a distinct possibility the new 100 kilowatt-hour pack is already shipping in high-end Tesla Model S and Tesla Model X cars, with a software limit essentially hiding the extra capacity from consumers until after Tesla's official announcement. When that will be, nobody can say, but we'd guess it's going to be sooner rather than later. And of course, when we know, so will you. We may not know when the new battery pack for the Model S and Model X is due to hit, but we can tell you that the 2017 Chevrolet Bolt EV, a car that GM has been working hard to promote for the past 18 months or so, is now entering the final stages of pre-production preparation ahead of a confirmed market launch of fall this year. How close is it to production? Well, according to GM's major production partners on the Bolt EV, LG, it's very close, with the South Korean company now ramping up Bolt EV parts production at its facilities around the world so that full-scale vehicle production can begin in Michigan in the next few weeks. While the first production cars aren't due to hit dealer lots until October, it's worth noting too that GM is now offering limited ride-alongs to members of the media who happen to be in the right press event at the right time. While these aren't full-blown test drives, those who have tagged along, including car and drivers Don Sherman, say that the Bolt EV has plenty of power, plenty of punch, and while still being tweaked, will have some pretty impressive performance when it ships in a few months. Sure, it's not the Tesla Model 3, but I'm suspecting demand will be high, so if you're interested, you may want to talk to your dealer sooner rather than later. Earlier on in today's show, we brought you the news that Ford was working on bringing a fully autonomous car to market by 2025 for use in car-sharing clubs. But how about hailing your own self-driving car through Uber as soon as this winter? If you live in Pittsburgh, that's what you're going to be able to do come the end of this year, thanks to a 100-car pilot project between Swedish automaker Volvo and the popular ride-sharing service. Announced on Thursday, the new project will see fully autonomous vehicles hit the roads of Pittsburgh, and members of the public will be able to hail one through the usual Uber app for their own trips. But while the cars will be available for hire, you'll not find one but two Uber drivers up front. One behind the wheel to make sure the car behaves itself, and one in the front passenger seat to observe how well the car responds to other road users and road conditions. While the car will be doing most of the driving, it'll still very much be under heavy supervision. Oh well. Now that we're more than halfway through August, we're finally heading out of the summer drought of automotive stories and into the crazy auto show season, starting with the Paris Motor Show next month. And as we learned this week, German automaker Volkswagen will be just one of many brands showing a concept car that hints at what we can expect from the brand in the next 5 years or so. In Volkswagen's case, that concept car is in the form of an all-new electric compact that's smaller than the Volkswagen Golf on the outside, but manages Passat levels of interior volume, thanks to an all-electric drivetrain, careful engineering, and of course, no internal combustion engine to worry about. The car, which has yet to be officially named, is meant to preview a new range of 5 electric cars that Volkswagen is hoping will turn its reputation around and away from the dieselgate scandal, with real-world ranges somewhere between 170 and 360 miles per charge, depending on whom you ask. Focusing on zero-emissions mobility, Volkswagen's brand boss, Dr. Herbert Diess, even suggested this week that Volkswagen could be looking to build production facilities in areas of the world where electric car demand is strong, such as the west coast of the US, China, and European countries where it currently does not have any production facilities. We're still away from learning what Volkswagen has planned, but we're paying close attention to help figure out if this is more hyperbole or actual progress from the now hated car company. While this summer has been slow on the news front, the ongoing talks between SolarCity and Tesla has kept us busy, with the final merger now pretty much a foregone conclusion ahead of the shareholder meeting later this year. Of course, shareholders could reject the proposed deal, but this week we learned that SolarCity is actually already taking steps to prepare itself for the merger, slashing its company budget, giving executives a pay cut to just $1 per year, plus stock options of course, and laying off a substantial number of staff. Although Tesla has said it always hoped to employ as many SolarCity staff as possible, it appears SolarCity is adjusting its staff volume in response to an adjustment it made to its solar panel installation guidance made earlier this year, as well as Q2 operating expenses that are more than $82 million higher than they were during the same period last year. Neither Tesla nor SolarCity have commented in any great deal on this news, although it's going to be interesting to see what effect the restructuring at SolarCity has had on both companies and their proposed merger. You might not believe it, but it's almost a year since the Volkswagen Dieselgate scandal broke, in which the German automaker admitted fitting certain diesel-engined vehicles with software designed to cheat in emissions tests. Well, while the initial repercussions of the scandal have now been felt by the troubled brand, a new twist appeared this week which could see Tier 1's parts supplier Bosch placed squarely in prosecutors' crosshairs, which could, we're guessing, have some pretty serious consequences. You see, while Volkswagen was initially believed to be solely responsible for the deceit, new court filings on behalf of affected Volkswagen owners in the US allege that the world's largest auto parts supplier was implicit in the illegal activity from the very beginning and helped Volkswagen design and build those cheap devices. Neither Volkswagen nor Bosch are talking publicly about the allegations, but they've both said that they take the allegations seriously and are cooperating with several ongoing investigations into the matter. As always, when we know more, we'll share. Our penultimate story today came out of the blue just as we were preparing today's show, and while it's of another new concept car, we felt it warranted some airtime in this week's show. That's because late on Thursday, German automaker Daimler unveiled the Mercedes Maybach 6 Concept Coupe, a massive 6-metre, 20 feet, uber-luxe streamlined car with gull-wing doors and an all-electric drivetrain capable of a sub-4-second 0 to 62 miles per hour time, an 80 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack, and a total peak power output of 550 kilowatts. The car itself, unveiled for the annual Monterey Car Week, is unlikely to make it into production in its current form, but it does show how seriously Mercedes-Benz is taking electric cars and backs up a story from a few weeks ago which suggested the German brand was looking to launch an entirely all-new electric sub-brand in the not-too-distant future. The concept reminds us a little of the all-electric minivan Benz unveiled in Tokyo last year, but given both vehicles' futuristic designs, we're doubtful either will make it into production in their common form. Because if they did, well, that would be crazy. And finally, as anyone who's followed the electric car world for any time will know, it's something of a tradition for electric sports cars to show how powerful they are by racing head-to-head against powerful gas-guzzling hypercars. Well, it seems that Croatian company Rimac, whose Rimac Concept One has been in development for several years now, has been taking notes and this week released a video of the 1 megawatt hypercar beating the Tesla Model S P100D and the Ferrari on the drag strip. Naturally, the Rimac One wins, and it's something spectacular to behold, so enjoy. That's your car porn for the weekend. And that, as you may have guessed, is your lot for today. So don't forget to leave your reactions and thoughts to the stories we covered in the comments below, as well as giving us a thumbs up and a share if you liked it. And if you didn't, that's okay, but give us a thumbs down and tell us why, because otherwise we can't improve. Sadly, circumstances beyond our control means that those videos I promised you a few weeks ago haven't yet made it out of the edit suite, but rest assured, I'm working very hard to bring them to you very soon. And our 2002 Toyota RAV4 EV now has a shiny new battery pack, so there's another road trip video coming up very soon when we go to pick it up. In the meantime, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at TransportEvolve, read our past and current articles on transportevolve.com, or check out our YouTube channel for our latest video updates. And if you liked what you saw today, please consider keeping us independent and impartial by supporting our Patreon crowdfunding campaign from as little as $1 per month over at patreon.com/transportevolved. As we said before, it's my only source of income. And if that's something you can't do, then please do spread the word about the show, retweet our posts on Twitter, and make sure you tell your friends about our YouTube channel. I'll be back next week with another roundup of the latest Transport Evolved news, so make sure you've subscribed and you'll see the show as soon as it's live in your YouTube screen. Until then, I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield. Have a great weekend, and until next time, keep evolving.